there, YouTube. Hey, I've had a couple people ask about my bucket here. This is my lower bait bucket that I carry with me on the line. I've just taken one of these big buckets, cat litter buckets here, chopped it down, reattached it, have the lid for it, and I for the lure and the bait, you got to find one of these older ones. They don't make these no more. You got to find one with a full lid. The newer buckets have this hinge lid, and you can also do it. It'll work. These don't fit on this buckets, but the hinge lids would also work. I don't know if the buckets are the same exact size or not. There's a little bit difference. These lids don't swap from bucket to bucket by the type, which I think is a bad design, but I wish that the newer buckets would fit these old lids. I have a bunch of these from buckets that got destroyed or thrown out or whatever, that were the old style that take that kind of lid, but these are just a little bit off. The design's not quite right. They don't latch down, but could possibly use one of these to do it. I just like to take the whole lid off, find what I'm looking for, and then put the lid back on again. I don't have to hold the lid up the whole time while I'm looking for something down in here. As you can see, you probably can't see inside here, but I got 20 lures and 5-6 different baits in here. But I made it this height right here because the urine bottles are a certain height, and with the cap on them, and the lid will fit on and snap down, and it would be right at the lower, or the urine bottles. So, and you can fit 2 pints on top of each other inside there, so you can do them in the corners and do your lures down the middle or whatever. And also I use one of these peanut butter jars like this for my DP bait. I stick that in there. That will also stand up in a corner, and it'll fit with the lid, and the lid will still go on. So if you use one of these big giant peanut butter jars, it'll fit in there too as well. And I basically built this because my lure ended up down in the bottom of my pack basket all the time, and I couldn't find it. So I built this. I actually keep my peat moss in one, and I put my peat moss in my pack basket, and then I set this one on top of the peat moss, and I'm about like right level with the top of my pack basket on height wise. So I don't know what it is. Double stacked right here is probably about, I can't remember if I got 24-inch pack basket. 20, yeah, it's 23 inches tall. So I think my pack basket is 24 inches tall. So it fits right inside there. And then I just stick my tools down the side, my hammer, my drill, and everything down in the side of the buckets, and I can carry everything all in one. So I'm gonna make one of these because I need another one. I'm gonna separate out and put my raccoon trapping stuff, DP trapping stuff into one, and then my canine stuff in this bucket here then. And they work out really good. I just do some pop rivets. I have everything here. I'll break it all down for you. I already marked this one out. If you're using this style bucket here that has this style of lid, these dimensions, I can double check it. I have both styles here and see if they're going to be the same height. But it's I mark it 1 inch down from this big lip right here, 1 inch down, and then 7 inches up. And I believe it's 3.5 inches you're cutting out of the bucket. 3.5 inches you're cutting out of the bucket, and then you use this 1 inch lip right here to go inside the bottom half right here, and then you pop rivet it together. So that's how I do it, and just basically moving the top down so that you can have still have a bucket. You still have the handle. You'll still be able to put the lid on it. It'll just be shortened. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this one up. You can use whatever you got. I have a jigsaw and the Sawzall here, and I'm just gonna use one of them, and I'm gonna cut it up, and then when I'll be right back. Once I get this piece cut out of it, I'll bring you guys back here. So, all right, there, YouTube, I'm back. I just use a jigsaw. You can even use a handsaw if you don't have power tools. Handsaw will work fine too. You can probably cut right around it pretty easy with a handsaw. I cut the 3.5 inches out. See right here, we're gonna throw that piece out. Now we got the top and the bottom, and we're gonna use a drill bit. I don't know if we need to mark that or not. Put this over here, and we're going to use pop rivets. You can use the pop rivets. Thing is, with pop rivets, you need to get the little backers on them. I tried to do it the first time without them. You need to get these little tiny little, they're like little aluminum rings, and they go over the head of the pop rivet on the outside, so that there's like that little collar right there on the pop rivet, so that puts a collar on each side. Otherwise, they'll just pull straight through the plastic. Gotta have both of those, or it won't work. I'm just gonna take a knife. I'm gonna go around the edge right here and kind of like deburr this, get rid of all the trimmings from the saw real quick. And have all this plastic everywhere here. Not like my shop's not need cleaned up though. It's pretty bad in here. And this just and sharp little burrs, plastic burrs aren't all over the place. And that's done, that's done. So the way this works here, you're gonna take the top, you're gonna put it over the bottom. And then, top's just gonna be a little bit bigger than the bottom because the bucket tapers as it goes down. So, and I can't remember how I did this, if I marked it a certain distance and then drilled it. We're gonna say probably about at least a 1/2 inch down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go around this top of this bucket right here. We're gonna mark this with a marker so we know how far down we want it to go. Gonna have enough to catch the rivet without being too far down. Make the bucket level all the way around. We're gonna say a 1/2 inch, and then we're just gonna split the difference and drill the hole. Do this real quick. My dog come down to visit me here. You seen him. If you watched the Bobcat video, he was there. He was the one freaking out in the background because he doesn't know how to act whenever he sees another critter alive, I guess. Alright, we marked that all the way around, 1/2 inch down. Now we're going to take a drill bit, we're going to put the bucket top on top here. We're going to go like that, and then stick that about a 1/2 inch down. Don't drill through into your finger. You're going to want to drill a hole through both pieces. Then you're going to take pop rivet, stick the pop rivet through the hole with the point sticking up to the outside. The little disc, it's going to go over the inside. You're going to hold that on the inside. The rivet gun on there. And like that, this piece gets thrown away. Alright, so we're going to go around the whole thing. We're going to button this all up, and then we'll get back to you. I'm back. I got put it all together here. I put 8 rivets in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But three here, one in each corner and one in each side. So I made 8. Actually, I don't know how I ended up. It's probably about a ½ inch taller than the other bucket is. I took the measurements off of this bucket. I guess measure twice. I guess either that or I only want a ½ inch instead of overlapping it further. But yeah, it's about the same, I guess, overlap. But yeah, so that's the bucket. That'll work, and you can, like I said, all your stuff will fit in there. You can you know, you can set all your baits and lures down inside there, double stack them. Your urine bottles will fit in there. I actually kind of like this one here, going to be a little bit taller. This was going to be my predator one now, and I'll use this one for my raccoon one because I don't put nothing tall in there. I had some bigger urine bottles, I think that were taller than those other ones, but yeah, that and usually my raccoon stuff is in this bag right back here, and this one here is usually pretty big. You got your fish oil, it'll fit inside there with no problem. Maybe this was the bottle that was bigger. I had one bottle that was just right at the top. Yeah, this bottle's a little bit taller than this bottle here, and it was actually rubbing the lid on this bucket over here. So those ones will fit in there now too. So a little bit taller ones, but like I said, fish oil will fit in there if you're doing a raccoon bucket, which is going to be a raccoon bucket now. And but yeah, I hope you guys got something out of there. If you have pretty much an endless supply of these cat litter buckets, I know a couple people that have cats. I just collect these buckets before they throw them out, and I use them. Like I said, I wish they would have stayed with the solid lids. Those hinge lids, over time, opening and closing them all the time, they tend to break. So I save every extra lid that I have. If I use a bucket that's used for something without a lid on it, I save those hinge lids, and then as buckets lids breaks, I just swap them out. But you can use them for everything. I store my traps in. If you see my shop right now, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 buckets that I can see from right here. So I use them for when I'm skinning. I use one for like a garbage can. I put a garbage bag in it and I stick it underneath. It catches anything that drips off of, like, you know, off the coyotes, raccoons, whatever I'm skinning. It drips in, falls into the bucket then. And I got 2 that are designated for mop buckets for in the shop for mopping. I got one by my sink over there. I just keep, if I wash all my pelts, so whenever I take a pellet, wash it, I drop it in a bucket, wash another one, and put all the clean pelts in there. Then I transfer them back into the sink then to hang them up to let them drip dry. But these buckets are useful. Put them to use if you can find them and use them. Use them for something. Definitely worth it. And now what we'll do is, before I put traps in them, because this the cat litter has a fragrance to it, odor control fragrance to it. So I take and I rinse them out with hot water, baking soda, and scrub them down really good with some Dawn dish soap. And before I use them, before I even think about putting traps in them, I've even taken them and after I did that, and take trap dye out of the pot when it's hot, dump it in there and swish it around, and then dump it back in, or you know, dump it out or whatever. But just swish some trap dye around in there and dye the inside of the bucket as well. So, but yep. So guys, I hope you guys are having a good season. If you guys like what you see here, can you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? You guys will be up to date on what's going on the channel. Like I said, we're just about pushing 100 right now subscribers. Gonna be I don't know what's gonna happen after 100. I thought about doing a giveaway or something, but we'll see. We'll just I'll just throw that out there now. But we get to 100, we're like 6 away right now, so we might do something. this week, snow's going to be gone. The deep snow is going to be melted off, so I'm going to probably get some traps back out. And then February 10th, I'm going after an otter. I got my Fisher, got my Bobcat, so now I'm going after my Pennsylvania otter. So we'll see. Got some high hopes. I did see some up that way the other day. Don't know if that's exactly where I'm going to be at. Those ones probably won't be there when I get there, but we're definitely going to go up and give it a try. So double check here. I think these are about the same height as the as these ones here. Let me double check. This one has a full lid. This one has the hinge lid. It's different. The tops are different size, and they're taller too. So the dimensions to cut these ones down will be a little bit more. If you wanted it about the same height, you can see that's the old style bucket with the full lid. This is the hinge lid. And these hinges don't last long. Opening and closing these things, 10 times, 12 times, 15 times a day, how many sets you put in, they tend to break. So definitely, if you have this style here and you're going to make one of these, save all your extra lids. If you have extra lids at buckets that got ruined or whatever, save them, because you can swap them out if you're going to use the hinge lids. But that's why I made mine out of the solid lid, because the lid never goes bad. So, but this dimension's different on these two buckets, and it's a little bit taller. But yeah, so that's my bucket. That's my lower bucket right there that I use on the line. I've been using it for a couple years now. It's really worked well. It's held up. I think 3 seasons now. I think since I made that, 3 or 4, 3 seasons maybe. It holds up well, and like I said, I always just carry it in my pack basket. But you can double stack your pints in the corners. Your urine will fit in there, and a little touch right to the top of it, so you don't have to worry about it spilling or anything inside your basket. You can fill in the middle with all your lures and everything. So yep, hope everybody got something out of that video, and I appreciate it. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button on your way out too after you watch this video. Hit the like button if you got something out of it, and we're gonna keep going here. It just got warm out again. It's a bunch of rain. All the snow melted off, so maybe I'll get some sets out. Trying to catch some skunks, so right now is the perfect time to do it. Raccoons are in the rut right now, so we'll get out there and get after some predators. All right, guys, catch you down the line.